So it's the 20th of March 2020 and I've just finished roasting for the day and I'm going to make myself a cup of coffee and we're going to sit down and have a chat. G'day everyone and thanks for tuning in. This is going to be a video about coronavirus and the coffee industry here in Australia, or more specifically in Melbourne. Before we go too far into it, I will make known that YouTube has cancelled all monetization on any coronavirus videos, which I think is fantastic. So that, you know, no one's getting any ad revenue or money from posting a video that might have coronavirus in the title or content of that sort. Either way, I don't make any money off YouTube anyway, so but either way, that's a very good move by YouTube. So we're going to get right into just some of the things that are happening in the industry and how roasters have been affected, how baristas have been affected, and have a look at potential supply issues. So let's get into it. So coronavirus has affected the entire world. And it's heavily affecting industries here in Australia, specifically to myself and a lot of other people in the hospitality industry. So from a micro roaster's point of view, which is myself, from last week to this week, I've seen a 60% drop in business due to coronavirus and the implementations that the government has instructed. And I personally believe that the government has acted appropriately. As of right now, there are only 565 known cases of coronavirus in Australia, which is not a lot in comparison to our population, but is absolutely cause for the government to act. And so they have. So please, just before we go any further, I'm not making this video all about me. I just want to give a perspective from a Melbourne roaster, Melbourne micro roaster, and there are plenty of roasters that are going to be smaller than me, that are going to be hit harder potentially, and there are definitely bigger roasters that will be able to support themselves through this kind of thing. So at the moment there isn't any supply shortage of coffee, which is great. However, if countries go into lockdown, then there could be some shipping problems if countries go into lockdown. I don't think Australia is there yet. I think we're going to have to see at least the number of coronavirus cases double before we go into any kind of full lockdown. So I don't perceive there to be much supply issue with green beans at the moment. But as you probably all know, it's changing day by day. So it could be different tomorrow, but at the moment, the supply of green beans seems to be good. So throughout the past few weeks, we've seen basically just layoffs left, right and centre. Casual staff being not given any shifts, baristas or kitchen hands or that kind of jazz, because of the measures that the government has imposed. People have been going to cafes and restaurants less, therefore there's not enough business for casual staff or so in some cases any staff. There have been a number of cafes and restaurants around my area that have closed down. None of them are my clients at the moment, thankfully, but it's a very real threat. So literally the only way to combat this is for the public to just go out and buy some coffee. Go buy a coffee, go have some food. We've got, Facebook is just flooded with cafes and restaurants saying what they're doing for hygiene standards and the lengths that they're going to clean tables when they're being flipped over. So the only way to combat this loss of business and loss of shifts for staff is to actually go out and buy coffees. Now that seems obvious, but in times like this, it's very hard to lose sight of those things that are obvious. And if you're one of those people that needs to self-isolate, the last thing you're going to be thinking of is which business am I going to support? You just want to make sure that you don't have the virus. So it's kind of understandable to think like that, but for those of us that don't have to self-isolate, please go out and buy coffee from your local coffee place. Buy a bag of beans from the cafe, order some beans online, go out, or organise a date with a mate or something like that, more often than you would, maybe. Because it's times like this that we need people who do have work and that are healthy and have very little risk to go out and just do that little bit extra. That's something that every society needs, and it's absolutely an opportunity for anyone and everyone that's in that good position to do so. Because society needs selfless people, really. The more selfless people we have in society, the happier everyone's going to be. So there is a chance that here in Australia it's going to get worse before it gets better. Just kind of like other countries in the world. I know Europe is facing lockdown at the moment. But there are absolutely some things that this whole scenario can't take away from you, especially if you're not sick. Right? It can't take away your relationships because we have social media, Facebook, there's phones in general, emails, any kind of media that you can keep in touch with people that are close to you. It can't take your hope for business owners that it will turn around and it will get better, and this is only short-term pain. And it absolutely can't take away your ability to love people and take that extra step and be something better for society, especially in our times of need. So please go and support your local businesses. Go and support your local cafes. Buy coffee. Just buy it online if you don't want to go out. But it's these type of things that if we all do them as a society, we're going to come out better when this whole thing is over. So please do that, and